Hi. Okay, this is a general intro that I'm going to add to every one of the 12 readings I'm about to do for each sign individually, but I've got the cards organized right now. I'm going to do house readings. I'm going to go for each sign. I'm going to check each of your 12 houses, what your energy is in them, and that's my idea of the most accurate sort of diagnosis I can come up with. You know, it would be my version of, you know, it's similar to the, well, it's not similar to a Celtic cross or something, but in terms of not just my free flow normal readings. So what I wanted to show in introduction was how I'm going to use the cards to classify a bit. I'm going to identify, I'll put, one card will be up here, so whatever your sign you are that you're going to be identifying with in the reading, it'll be up here. For me, this is Aries energy, Leo energy, and Sagittarius energy, but by houses, by first, fifth, and ninth houses, right? That's what how I'm classifying the energy. So you might very well be King and Queen energy and watching for Aries, right? So what I'll do is I'll have the Page of Wands up, identifying it as Aries, but the other cards will go back in the deck. So if you are coming out in Knight or Queen or King energy and it needs to come out in the reading, then it will, okay? And we'll correctly identify. So similar, Taurus, because we all know, I keep going on about this, I reclassified Earth and Air to match the houses, but also there are more reasons to reclassify them in their cardinal, mutable, and fixed energies than just the cardinal points that Ptolemy gave them. So I'll make a video arguing that out. I explain it most videos, but Taurus at Page, cardinal energy, Virgo, Knight, and then the entrepreneur, because of the career house, the 10th house is career house, so King and Queen energy for Capricorn, okay? But again, same old. If you're watching for that sign and you're in other, you know, you're in a particular energy, then it'll come through in the deck, because I'll just put the one card up as a signifier and the others will be back mixed in with the deck. So Gemini, and otherwise, so remember Earth and Air I've reclassified. Gemini, Libra as the Knight, and Aquarius as Queen and King because of 11th house, 3rd house, 7th house, and 11th house, okay? And Cups, Cancer, 4th house, Scorpio, 8th house, and 12th house with Pisces. And I would make note that with Pisces, because the 12th house is all houses, and Pisces can take on the qualities, the attributes of any sign, because they've been through all of them. So this Queen and this King wear all the crowns. Even more so than how we classify with the Emperor, right? Or even the Empress. These two, because they're all signs and all houses, they wear all 8 crowns. So that's how I classify those. They'll be representing your sign. For the houses, I know that this is typically in tarot, this is an Aquarius card, but I like it to be, I'm going to use it, it can be identified with Aries in first house, yes. And so I believe in astrology it's used as a first house card, is how I first learned it. So I'm going to use it for first house. I'm going to use the Hierophant. I often, in my astrology work, I'll use him as Chiron, as a planet placement, but I'd rather use him in this. I won't worry about a Chiron card. I'm going to use him as the 2nd house. Lovers for 3rd house. Chariot, because it gets confusing between the, I use the High Priestess card, which is normally a 4th house card. I use her as a Lilith placement, which may or may not come out in the reading, but I'll know if it is. And Lilith, as a lunar experience placement, can be magnetisms and polarities. So they'll give me definite messages if I need. So I'm using the Chariot because that is a 4th house card. It's a Cancer card, so it might as well be used. I'm using the Strength card for 5th house, yes. Of course, Hermit for 6th house, Justice for 7th house, Death for 8th house, Temperance, of course, for 9th house. And I get torn with this because I know it's Capricorn, but it's I could use the World card, but I use the World card for Saturn as a planet placement. So I'm going to use Capricorn's card, the Devil, for 10th house, Aquarius and the Star. And I do equate the Tower more with 11th house with Uranus than with Mars and Pluto in Scorpius. It's a split camp. If you go researching online, it's as far as I know, it's a 50-50 split. But I've done my research, and I've got my articles that I refer to that identify the issues that the Tower brings more with Uranus issues. So I'm going to use the Star, obviously, for Aquarius. And then in astrology, the moon is Cancerian, but in tarot, it is Pisces. So, and I need it because Hangman has the Neptune meaning. So these will be, I will use these. They won't be in the deck. They're going to be signifying the houses. So they're going to stay out of it. So what we do in place of them, and they'll be up here. I'll just have one card up at the top, and that'll show which house we're working on. And then for the planets, right? So these will be put back in the deck so that if there's a house that's affecting your house that we're reading about, or there's a planet affecting that, right? Then we have them mirrored, right, by their rulers here. So Sun and Leo, the 5th house. Mercury, so the Magician is Mercury in 3rd house. Of course, Venus, 2 houses. We've got 7th house and 2nd house there. So, and we're going to use High Priestess as Lilith. So any lunar house she might represent, right? But let's say she typically represents the moon, so that would be Cancerian. But Mars, right? Emperor. Jupiter, the wheel. Saturn, the world. So for me, Uranus, the Tower, Hanged Man, Neptune, and Judgment, Pluto. Okay, so those will be put back in the deck. And now let's get to your individual readings, and I hope that makes sense. That's what I do when I'm using the cards in chart work. And now, I'll break for a moment, and I'll be right back. Hey Scorpio, let's get into this. Let's get your first house going here. I'm going to shuffle the cards a bit. I know in tarot, Fool is traditionally considered Aquarius energy, but in astrology it carries 1st house energy, which means 1st house ruled by Aries and Mars. I guess Mars predominantly, which is your co-ruler, right? Mars and Pluto co-ruling Scorpius, and Scorpius the constellation. 1st house, your rising sign or signs, depending if you use whole house or any other system that can span multiple signs. I use both, and remember, I would be going with a sidereal placement. So if you check your sidereal chart versus your tropical chart, you might find that your 1st house would probably change. Absolutely, it might start in the same sign. It might not, and so but it would be accurate to where the stars actually were when you were born. We can use tropical for seasons, but we can't use them for the star placements, right? Because of precession of the equinoxes, so we're about 2,000 years off. A bit more than that, but but 1st house, apart from your rising sign or signs, like mine starts in Scorpius and goes all the way through deep into Scorpius, and then enough that I mostly identify in readings with being Scorpio. But it does go all the way through Sagittarius and well into Capricorn. So I know that I have inherent qualities and patterns and ways of doing things connected to Sagittarius and Capricorn as well. So we're talking about this in tarot. This would be Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands energy. Okay, so the start of the trouble that you want to make in the world. But But yeah, your sense of self, you know, opposing Libra, 7th house of others. We have something in progress. What we have, the wheel in progress. We have Jupiter co-ruling the 12th house of Pisces, co-ruling it with Neptune, and ruling Sagittarius' 9th house. So this could be a question of muse prophet energy, or faith energy, or healing energy. This could literally just be waiting for time to be, you know, whatever you're putting in motion to come around. For me, Jupiter's energy and empathy, right? The planet of expansion. Others will say it's of luck, right? But if you're looking at how your chart is moving, we have divine timing, but we're starting off with divine timing in your 1st house. So something about your core self, something about your very personal journey, your destined journey, right? We've got destiny here. So not quite squared off with it. Wow, definitely okay. So now we have Pisces re-emphasized. Okay, we have Neptune here with the Hanged Man. And in near reverse, like when he's like this for me, he's in the Magician pose, and you see you have the stability of 4 there. So I would say there's a process near completion. But that's interesting because this wheel would have so much to do to turn around upright. However, maybe we just want it upside down. The question will be, is there a long ways to go or a short ways to go? And are we talking about nodes? Possibly this is North Node, South Node situation. Because the North Node is represented by the 10 of Cups, the Pisces card. Okay? Where you want to, where your opportunities are, where your guidance is geared towards, yes, your North Node. So again, if it's your destiny, absolutely everything to do with your North Node. And I feel like, because we have double Pisces energy here, and Pisces representing North Node with the 10 of Cups, then yeah, we have some 10 of Cups action going on here. I do believe, but it's to do with you. Why wouldn't it be to do with you? Okay, something's flipping over. I'm just going to show it. I'm not going to keep it. It's the 2 of Wands reversed, so that would be 1st house energy. There's an indecision, possibly. Maybe they don't want to say anything more about your 1st house right now, because that's a lot. It's absolutely like Jupiter and Neptune working together in your life right now. Okay, so we have another 2 repeating here. 2nd house energy for me, Taurus energy. Others would put it as Libra energy. What am I saying? Libra energy. Oh, I've got Libra on the brain. Okay. Others would put it as Capricorn energy, cardinal energy. But for me, because Capricorn is 10th house, I put the 8, 9, 10 of Pentacles as Capricorn, not Virgo. So, and for me, Taurus is very cardinal. The Egyptian year used to start with Taurus. Not Sirius, but with Taurus, with Aldebaran, and not with Aries either. Okay, so something about cash flow or investment, or, and then we have the infinity, right? The infinity symbol, the opportunities. We have a 2, which is a planning card. For me, it's making up your mind about a situation that is still relatively unknown to you. There are lots of unknowns in a 2. There's a lot of if we're talking about free will versus destiny versus soul contracts, yes, because we're heading into that 3 of Pentacles. So there could be a lot of fear here. I don't know if there's anything else, something else slapping out. I'm going to just reference it. We've got a 7 of Wands in reverse. That could speak to the fear. Okay. And wow. Okay. Definitely, if we have, okay, I'm going to leave it right where it fell. The Ace of Cups reversed is this 4th house. And again, we have Cups energy here. And if we've got the 10 of Cups, we're working our way to the North Node in the 10 of Cups, then that would be completion, right? And then it brings us back to the Ace of Cups. But if we are spiritually depleted, yes. Okay. Very interesting. All right, so 2 things in progress. Definitely reversal, definite upright. I want to say that these are actually butting heads. I want to say that Jupiter, like, and yet I shouldn't. I shouldn't because, of course, the words are both in the same direction. But actually, for me, this is the more positive position of the Hanged Man. And that's why I'm saying I feel like they're butting heads. It might be that it's the luck is not where you think it is. That could be one message. They could be moving together or working against each other, in which case you'd have, well, we'll find out. We'll find out. So I'm going to put them that way. We're going to move on to your 2nd house. And basically we need to get through all the houses in order to have, you know, the complete picture, obviously. We'll get a fairly clear sense of it probably by the time we're all the way through the first 6 houses. But so 2nd house, of course, finances, but any binding relationships, shall we say, but student-teacher situations, right? Systems that you have to answer to, all the things we're born into that we didn't create, but then have some measure of power over us, rightly or wrongly. And I would say most of the time wrongly, because what human should have power over another human? You know, based in any kind of reality. Okay, now I've got it hitting the floor. I'm just going to reference it and put it back in the deck, but we possibly have a 10 of Pentacles in reverse in your 2nd house. So there could be a huge amount of instability, or, but again, that would be, well, let's just make up our minds about what's going on in the 2nd house. And the investing in your, you know, your assets, your liabilities, your debts, your profits. Okay, a lot going on here. Okay, we have her here, possibly. I consider this a Lilith card as well as the Moon card. So we've got some magnetisms and polarities possibly happening. I'm going to take it because she caused such a strong reaction. Look at this. I feel like we've got, what do we have? Polarities or magnetisms? Wow. Well, there's that 7 of Wands again in reverse, the way it was coming out in the 1st house. Let's see if we can work with this. Well, I said we either have a Pisces situation or with a 12th house situation or a 9th house situation with Jupiter there, and we have 9th house here and we have 9th house here. Beginning and end, we have King and Queen of Wands energy. We have a completion. We have Leo energy in the center, this sense of leadership. We have a progression. We have Mars here, 1st house ruler, and also your ruler, Scorpio, your co-ruler. And then we have this institution represented in this 3 of Pentacles. So we possibly have a lot of soul contracts or a lot of projects. Yes. Now the question is, what's she doing here? Again, with those magnetisms and polarities, I'm going to stick with that. This 7 would go back to the 6 of Wands, which would be the acknowledgement, the affirmation, the audience, right? Basically the popularity. And everybody going, yes, you absolutely have something that we want and we get it. You know, not only do you have something amazing, but we recognize that it's amazing. Queen of Wands, very, you know, like she knows exactly what she wants. She's got the plan, same as the King of Wands has a plan. But this is seven is a transformation. So we have a start, an end and a start here. For me, this is the male aspect. This is the male god that we identify with. Because she's the female god. Yeah, the whole situation repeated here between the Three of Pentacles, right? This Mason climbing the corporate ladder, the Masonic ladder, never mind. Well, they create most of the corporate pyramids. But, and I've been inside at least a couple of them. I've been in between churches and businesses, I've been inside, let's say 10 of them. And now I get why. So that I would have very strong personal understanding. But let's say that there's completely an incompatibility, right, between God and this institution. But we have strong faith, strong faith. Very interesting. Because we have her here as well. They're both here. So let's say you have sense of both. You have full sense of God. Like, I feel like this is a very unusual interpretation, but I'm being strict to what I understand from the cards. Like, I feel like really got to dig for this one. But then I really had to dig for Taurus's reading, so I'm not surprised that anything to do in second house right now is heavy. Did a lot of work I do hesitate to change up my understanding of this energy, just to be an archetypal energy. But Mars, let's just go down the options here. Mars as a ruler of love and loyalties. Love and loyalties, and here we have, you know, the fight, the holding your ground, but the transformation of the 7, and it's not happening yet. This is in the upright. This is also putting the right value on yourself and saying yes to the right situations. It's a 3, so it's manifesting. This is not accidental, though. We have fire, 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 and fire. Something very important in your second house. Very important. And that 7 of Wands repeating that wanted to come out in the first house, or was hinting at in the first house. And the fact that we have her here. So there's no competition. There's no competition. Okay. Let's go to a house of competition. Let's go to third house. Mercury ruling. Oh, and of course, well, okay, let me just back up, because I always forget that, of course, second house is ruled by Venus. For me, this is an aspect of Venus. Interestingly enough, even though it's lunar, in terms of Great Mother, in terms of Mother God, right? Empress, like in terms of actually, if you go to the, you know, it's a hacked together bits and pieces of other Revelations books. But if you go into the book of Revelations, when they're referencing, they use the description of High Priestess, the moon at her feet, yes, and then stars in her crown, same number of stars in her crown. They combine, it's a combined Empress and High Priestess image of the Great Mother. And so that's, you know, that even confirms, you know, what I'm saying. And then we split the symbols up, and we, you know, move them around a bit. And here we go with Adam and Eve. Let's get into that. So for third house, ruled by Mercury, represented by the Magician as well. So we have either a situation of ethics, of knowledge, what you know, your place in the community, your connections, your networking, what you need to learn. For me, it's Page of Swords energy, so it's Ace, 2, 3, 4 of Swords, because of course I gave it that cardinal designation. I changed it up because it's third house. I'll get the fridge. Oh, so interesting. So here we go with your North Node. Here we go with your North Node. Now, it's in the same... We didn't get far, did we? Which one is it mimicking? Jupiter. Well, in that case, it's mimicking both of them. Because technically, right? So we've got... We want to turn it around until it's upright. It's in progress. It's in progress. But here we have. So this is completely... You know what you believe. We have the Wands, strong, and it's costing you. We need that 6 of Wands. So what else can third house tell us about everybody else then? Your North Node is in. Oh, my specialty card. No card is more represented in my chart by planetary positions than this card. Libra for me. Of course, the safe passage. Beautiful combination. And it's in the upright. So this is where you have, this is where your North Node is living right now. This is where they need you to pay attention. What you know, what you believe, for emphasis on what you know and who you know. But there's an opportunity here for safe passage. Interesting. With somebody, well, with somebody, because we've got full happiness here. So there's a relationship here. Interesting. Right behind it, 7 of Swords. And I'm going to leave it right behind it, not ahead of it, which is so interesting. The overlap. Because it's over. This transformation. Now, is it over? I think I need to be flexible with being less numerological about this and just go for the meaning of it, that, you know, the fight is over. The distrust, at least it's in progress. But this is for me another Libra card. So we have definitely a situation between you and maybe several others. Yes, because there are usually several, like there's a whole army in this, you know, the tents, right? So there could be a group situation that there's safe passage from for you in this relationship, or there's and it could be different for enough of you, right? Okay, so there we have the self. Done waiting. Interesting. First house energy. We'd have everything to do with that Hanged Man situation. Going back to that 2 of Wands. Remember how that 2 of Wands wanted to come out? I referenced it and then I put it back in the deck. So we need to go find that Ace of Wands is what we need to do. It's going to be closely connected to the 10 of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So it might be in the career house, might be in 10th house. Because that follows the Queen of Wands house, the 9th house, right? She's in completion in the 9th house. These are in reverse together. So this situation, there's closure around it. Or there's a sense of like not waiting on it anymore. You've got some level of clarity about what you want to do, is my feeling right now. That's my feeling right now. Mercury. Magician energy. Communication energy. Okay. 4th house. Let's find out about that Ace of Cups, because this is the house of Ace of Cups. Chariot in balance. Something's in progress, of course. Wow. Complete energy in, well, there's that Ace of Cups right there. Now it's not in reverse. It's in progress, but it's, you know, not far from being in reverse. So there's instability in your 4th house. There's instability either with, you know, close to home or with spirit guides or in a relationship, in the community. There's an imbalance. An alignment needs to happen. Lunar energy, but that's so interesting. Wow, Pluto right here. Creative energy, your own inner power. Deep creative energy. Taking what's dead and bringing it to life. So I feel like there's something, because you're Scorpio, I feel like this is completely about, possibly about your work with people on the other side. And if we go back to, Interesting. Divine timing. Divine timing. Emphasis on water energy with the strong start in Jupiter and Pluto, Jupiter and Pisces and Neptune. Smacking, I'll reference it, but I'm putting it back in. Okay, yep. Independence and the 9 of Pentacles, career energy. Sagittarius, 9th house. The faith is strong, the communication is strong, yes. Communication is strong, and maybe it's overwhelming because we have the 10 of Wands. But there is this imbalance then. And why is there imbalance in the 4th house? Because there's so much, you know? Because there's so much going on. Very interesting. Can we get one more card on why the imbalance? Going back to that 3 of Cups. Happiness. Is there just too much going on in the 4th house? Okay, we don't know. And we don't know because we don't know. Going back to that truth. So I've got Gemini energy here. Gemini, 3rd house, right where that North Node is. And the 3 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords, and the 10 of Cups in progress. Squared off with 10 of Cups is going, you know, if we get a little squarish about this, and then we've got Uranus here with the Tower. Others will see it as Mars and Pluto and Scorpio energy. And you can see it that way if you want to. For me, it's Uranus. It's achieving a certain level where there's nowhere to go but a revolutionary quantum leap. You don't know where, like they came out together. Sense of direction. Because this is a direction card, right? Everything's moving in the same direction. And it's supposed to be taking you closer to where you want to go. But you might not know where that is. And if it's an Uranus cycle, yeah, Uranus doesn't let you know ahead of time. It's all there. When you look back, then you can see it. But you don't know where. That's the thing about the tower. You don't. Only the tower knows where it's taking you and when it's coming. Unless somebody's really smart and looks at your chart when you're little and goes, oh, based on this Uranus placement in your chart, this is when this is going to happen. Then this is this. But then if they even know it, if they can see it and they call it, then does it even happen? Because they called it. So, okay. Let's put all of those, I'll put them sideways in progress because they are in progress. They're not quite here yet. 5th house. Leadership, creativity, ego, strong ego. You want strong ego because then that means you can handle crap. Pride. You want strong pride. Now we have that 6 of Wands that we need. This is where that 7 of Wands reversed is coming from. Knight of Wands energy, betting on yourself at all odds and winning. Okay, this is not, I felt like maybe happiness is an issue, and it is. Now, Aquarius for me, Aquarius energy, 11th house energy, so here's the Tower energy. Mastermind energy, absolutely. King and Queen of Swords energy. So putting that energy in this house, in 5th house, proving yourself to everyone. So you might be very well having a publicity issue. There might be a popularity contest that you need to win. But then how to win it? You're only competing against yourself, right? And so, but again, strategies, what you know in that Gemini house, what you know, what you got to dig deep into what you know. And here we have, we have 2. How nice. Okay. So, here we have Venus, 7th house and 2nd house, and here we have 7th house. Emphasis on 7th house, which we've already had completely otherwise represented, and that would be Knight of Swords energy, I should say. But with that 6 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, now she is active. This is where she has shown up twice already as High Priestess. And for me, she's represented here as well. But Mother God, working in your life creatively, very creatively. So her focus here is on your creativity and your uniqueness. The 5 of necessary change. The 5 of necessary, and so she wants this. I know it looks like it's a sad card, but you want it to be complete. You want it to be 9. So that you can reach the 10 and the ace. Just because they made it look like a sad card, it's still numerically, it's 9. You want to get to 9. You don't want to be stuck down 2, 3, 4, and 5. You want to reach, because we could easily give the Swords cards as happy a meaning as anybody else gets. But so this necessary change, this necessary singling yourself out based on the truth. Yes, it's harsh. It's harsh, but in terms of getting you where your creative flow is, because this is very much a house of creative flow. Also, I would say 12th house is very much a house of creative flow, because it's muse energy. For me, this is very much matrix creativity, co-creativity with other people immediately around, like not maybe immediately around you, but let's say if you work, well, in living, not spiritual co-creating, yes, not with spirit guides or psychic work, but not muse work per se, but other humans in creative teams. But it doesn't even necessarily have to be creative work, right? It's creative thinking applies to everything, because it's problem solving thinking. So whoever you're working with in the 3D, shall we say. So she's working to build you a community, your audience, your 6 of Wands, okay? This is where she's putting her effort, is the 5 is going to lead to the 6 of Wands. So she's guiding, I think we have enough. She's guiding your partnership. She's guiding your your allegiances, your networking. Yes. Because of where your North Node is. And if we, yeah, okay. Let's leave it at that for now. Let's put those in there. Let's put her out in front. Okay, and I'm going to pause to relight. Okay, I think I shifted the camera there a bit, but I was relighting a candle that went out. I do feel like she's being very maternal in a very maternal situation, right? Like possibly making up for something. So let's go to your 6th house. How to implement, how to analyze and systematize anything creative, anything that's come beforehand, right? To troubleshoot any process, to look after health concerns, routines, habits, how you organize yourself, time management, self-management, energy management, of course being guided, of course working on things alone, people that come to you for guidance. The echo, you know, ruled by Mercury again, so here we have the echo, the you know, not truly an octave, but an, you know, a level up of the 3rd house. Okay, nothing. Oh, slapping, slapping, slapping. Okay, Pentacles house, Pentacles energy. Going back to that 3 of Pentacles. And again, echoing that 4 of Cups in the same position. 2 4s in the same position. So the spiritual, the family, stability. Let's say family stability then. Matched with the financial instability. Because a 4, you know, like it's when it's upright, it's a full 4, and a 4 is stability. So that 3 of Pentacles situation with the fire, right? 10 of Wands, Mars, the 7 of Wands reversed, and then what did we have? I can look it up. What did we have before Queen of Wands? I'll get it in a second. At least I think I will, or they'll make me get it now. Oh, the 3 of Pentacles, exactly. Okay. To the ooh, to the floor. To the floor. Saturn energy. World reversed. Now, Capricorn and Aquarius energy. If the world is reversed, no wonder the Tower is coming. Yes. Fears, calculated risks, boundaries. And what did I say? I felt like she was being very maternal. And for me, Saturn is a very maternal energy. That's what I'm coming to decide about Saturn. More maternal, less paternal. More female than male. I found at least one article that goes into that. My dad, the philosopher, always felt that Saturn had strong feminine energy. Shall we say the female mystic, yes. Lovingly referred to as crone energy, unfairly, but what else in reverse here? Not quite. The wheel needing to turn a fair bit, yes. The Ace of Cups, yes. Here we have, so that's second house, 3 of Pentacles. God's will. So interesting. So there's like a major and her, like both aspects of God with that. So interesting. Always so layered. That 3 of Wands. But that instability. See, and now this Judgment card can also be seen as a Saturn return card. And that's in progress. Knowing where you're going. Right, not knowing what's coming. Yep, you can't know. It's like the world is here. It's here. Just the same as the wheel is here. So you have strong planetary influences here. You have Saturn, and you have Uranus, and you have Neptune, and you have Jupiter. You have Venus. Like generational things. A lot of these planets are generational planets. The bigger picture planets. These are the bigger trajectory in your, absolutely. So when we go back to the house of self, we're very much talking about the bigger picture of your life. The reasons why you're here beyond, like, yeah, this is all about your purpose, shall we say. Not that it isn't always about your purpose, but something about right now. Things are having to go to the floor again. That's the theme of 6th house. Wow, okay. Page and Knight together. So Taurus and Virgo together for me. This is Capricorn and Taurus, but for me it's Taurus and Virgo. So Virgo and Virgo's house. This Ace of Pentacles, this start. Look at this. Start, start, start. Beginning, beginning, beginning. Now, why in your 6th house? Workplace. Okay, so back to that 3 of Pentacles. The workplace. The work that you do. The work that you do to get... or the preparation. It's either the workplace or the preparation that you're putting into your own business. You're either on the verge. Now the fact that they're in reverse. Okay. Like this could be for a couple of cycles of your life. This could be referencing the Jupiter cycles, right? It can take a few turns of the wheel based on your chart, based on when things are charted to happen. It wasn't charted to happen in your childhood, and it wasn't charted to happen in your young adulthood. I'm kind of getting that sense. That's what they're getting me to say anyway. That's what they're leading me to say. Put that in the house of like tenacity, of being the mystic, of sticking with a thing. So let's go to your 7th house. Let's go to Libra. Other people, these contracts that we already have full Libra represented on the table with the 5, 6, 7 of swords. So, okay, now we have more Virgo energy. Out in the cold, the necessary change though. So just as Empress, just as Venus is helping with that 5 of swords, yes, here she is in one of her own houses, helping that necessary change of work, you know, yes. So that instability, and the 3 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles in progress and the 3 of Pentacles upright are tied to this 5 of Pentacles with others. So yes, the way the Empress is working in your 5th house to bring you into the right communities, to bring you to the right audiences, to align you with who you need. Now she needs you to do your stuff in order for her to be able to align you, because you have to have the things that you bring, be it a job, be it a relationship, be it a career, be it, you know, products. She's got to work both ends towards the same, I don't know, I wouldn't say middle, but meeting ground. So there's coordination required. And it's in progress. Slapping, slapping, slapping. But something to do with the 5th house for sure. And that Queen of Wands. And the 10 of Wands. Okay, almost squaring off. Wow. Okay, what did we say about what you know in your Magician in your 3rd house? So let's go back. Let's get 3rd house out. Damn straight. Look at. Right? 3rd house, Magician's house. Right? What did we have? I'm going to say right like that, button heads. But we have the 6 of Swords, 3 of Swords reversed, 7 of Swords reversed. Yes? That's safe passage. So your Magician is in progress, in connection with your North Node. There's a whole lot of coordinating of your chart going on right now, Scorpio. Just a shit ton of coordination going on. So your Mercury, your mind is in this. Your mind, your power, right? Mercury's your mind and your imagination. But your power, having all